So, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we now made our way to the halfway point in circuit mode on the DS version of Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. Hey, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is I am the one and only Silver the Hedgehog here, and I am back for the likes of the Mexi Toys videos. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for some more of Let's Play of Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games DS version, and welcome to Day 9 of Paris Olympics 2024. So yesterday, we went into the Comet Circuit, even though we did those events really well, except we were so close to achieve first place on fencing. I'm guessing it's probably because I did not use parry as much, but apart from those aside things though, we still claimed the trophy regardless. So today, for this video, is that we're going to be continuing things on and move on to the next circuit, and that's what appears to be the satellite circuit. So we have Trampoline, Archery, Javelin Throw, and finally 10-meter platform. So this will be kind of an interesting selection of events as far as this is concerned. So either way, let's go and hop into this. And I'm sure enough though is about the fact that, like I said before, that we're now onto the halfway point in circuit mode on the DS version of Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. So, generally speaking, I was about the fact that I can't even believe we actually get into this process really fast. So, anyways though, so the character choice this time around though, as you can see, I have decided able to select Peach this time, because I believe, if I recall correctly, that on the Wii version, that both Chip and Daffy Duck did somehow manage able to select Peach on one of the Master Classes circuits, as far as I'm concerned. But either way, let's go ahead and participate in Trampoline, and sure enough, since I'm going to be using the skill type character, this means I can able to actually use my glorious circuit chance. So just in case, I can able to guarantee to able to achieve first place, and hopefully I should able to actually rank up my points to 20 points from the get-go. So either way, but eventually at some point, once we get to the final class in the DS version of the game, then other times though is about the fact that I might not get to use the circuit chance straight away. So potentially though, it's probably a best idea if we get into the forms of certain events I'm usually good at, then obviously though I can usually use it wisely rather than just use it at the very beginning of the circuit each time. So, because as far as I'm aware, like I said before, that the computer players might get a little bit more aggressive at some point in the later circuits to come, including with the forms of the final batch of circuits, mind you. So either way though, we'll discuss more about that if we get on to next week or so, because either way though, well, as you probably already know by now, it's about the fact that, well, today's date of course here is the 3rd of August today, in some cases in 2024 today, and I believe we've only got about 8 more days to go until the closing ceremony is about to happen for the sake of Paris 2024. So, but then again, I'll talk more about the forms of the medal count specifically until next week. So either way though, Scout's able to wait on that for a while. Especially that I've noticed something, there are some other news I would like to discuss. Well, first off, is about the fact that recently, Inside Out 2 has now surpassed $1.5 billion. So yeah, it's actually doing really well, and it's almost catching up to the point where the fact that I'm really hoping that Inside Out 2 will definitely beat out the Lion King live-action remake, because let me tell you, I'm still not a big fan of the live-action version of the Lion King after all. I mean, it's bad enough we're about to be getting a prequel after all. I mean, whoever needs it, or does someone ask for this? I sure don't, especially concerning for the fact that a lot of fans out there do not seem to really keen on the live-action version of The Lion King, myself included, especially concerning for the fact that they messed up with anyone else's nostalgia, which is, you know, true for that circumstances anyway, so, but that's besides the point. So, anyway, unfortunately I messed that up right there, not once, but twice, because, again, it is so difficult to actually get ourselves the perfect emblem on this version in particular. Usually if you're trying to aim for exactly 10 points, whilst unlike the Wii version, assuming if you're trying to able to select the skill type character, it makes things a little bit easier for me, especially concerning for the fact I do remember that Daffy Duck told me that he did somehow indeed manage able to got himself the actual perfect trampoline emblem on the Wii version, no problem, because of the forms of skill type character that he did somehow choose, ranging from either Peach, Tails, Waluigi, or Dr. Eggman. So, yeah, everything else checks out there for the most part. Whilst, unlike the DS version, sometimes, I will admit though, it is really difficult sometimes, because you need to be exactly, you know, try to be quick about it when it comes to, you know, trying to deal with the forms of quick time events, basically. So, anyway, so now let's move on to Archery now. Self-explanatory, nothing else to say about it, apart from the fact that we are now going to be selecting Peach this time. So, either way though, nothing else to add. Oh, nice. Perfect 10 from the start. So, anyways though, as far as I'm aware, is about the fact that the actual specific number, at least whenever I notice something like this, when it comes to the forms of the box office earnings department for right now, in Inside Out 2, that it so far is actually on to $1.506 billion, or perhaps even maybe more during the forms of in the later days, because mind you about the fact it has been about quite a while since I actually have mentioned something relates to Inside Out 2. And what's really bothers me a little bit is about the fact that we still have no idea when does the DVD release of Inside Out 2 will be releasing, and that could be also applies for Deadpool and Wolverine as well. My guess is about the fact that maybe they'll try to able to expand upon, you know, with the box office earnings first, just before they realize about the fact that, or perhaps even maybe it could be something else for that matter though. But then again though, we have to wait and see what happens in due time, especially concerning for the fact that we're still in the beginning of August after all. So either way though, yeah, sometimes it takes a bit of a while to able to actually get certain Disney films that ever came out on physical media, either on DVD or Blu-ray, or even nowadays 4K Ultra HD Blu-rays and stuff like that, but that's besides the point. But I digress. So, and as far as I'm aware, that so far that Inside Out 2 definitely beats out Top Gun Maverick for the box office earnings right now, especially that at this point in time, that it looks like that Inside Out 2 was, if I recall correctly, currently now on 12th place right now, when it comes to the highest grossing films of all time. So it's doing rather well still, especially after the events of how the past few years didn't exactly go too well, likely also for Onward, Soul, and Luca, and Turning Red, and Lightyear, and maybe a little bit on Elemental, despite the fact that I still haven't get a chance to able to actually see Elemental. Well, apart from the fact that it plays pretty much similar to Zootopia, except the fact that obviously though it's all about elements instead of, you know, human being animal types. So, at least as far as I'm concerned. So, either way though. So, it looks like so far so good. We somehow got the 10 from the start on set 4. So, yeah, that's actually pretty swell if I say so. And let's see if I can get myself yet another 10 from here. Oh, close, but I'll take 7. So, either way, that's actually a pretty good result. Well, I will say this about the fact that the second run on Archery goes a little bit better than the forms of how it does on my first run back in during the forms upon the Saturn circuit. So either way though, I suppose, yeah, you probably get the gist of it. So we're still on the lead right now, so pretty swell. And I suppose the next event we're going to be jump right into next is Javelin Throw. So either way, nothing too crazy about it, aside from the fact that, well, potentially speaking though, is about the fact that I'm always doing pretty well when it comes to Javelin Throw, including Hammer Throw as well, so either way. Oh geez, it looks like both Daisy and Sonic, for some reason, decides able to use the Circuit Chance token for some reason. I was assuming about the fact that they'll try to save it up at the very end of this particular circuit in particular, which is of course 10-meter platform, but beggars can't be choosers, I guess. So, anyways, let's get ourselves a good running start. And we can able to just try to pull back and throw it at exactly the right moment. And I guess this is good, I guess. Oh, and by the way, something's worth noting, for depending on what character you play as during the forms of some events, like for instance, for example, during the forms of the Judges department, that since we're going to be playing as Princess Peach after all, that Peach is obviously a Mario character of course, that one of those judges is actually going to be a part of some of these specific characters, ranging from Toad and Lakitu. Whilst unlike in the Sonic characters department, obviously though, it will be both. Let's just say there was actually 3 judges, from what I can tell. If you play as one of those Sonic characters, there was Espio the Chameleon, Charmy Bee, and finally Cream the Rabbit. So, at least that's what I was expecting. Whilst unlike the Mario characters, only has like 2 judges for the sake of characters department. So they bring up, like I said before, both Toad and Lakitu. That's the only thing I can probably think about it. So either way though, I suppose that's what I can say about it. So, anyways though, also, as far as I'm aware, one thing I totally forgot to mention about, since in yesterday actually, that out of nowhere, that we're about to be receiving a familiar actor who's going to be playing as Dr. Doom from the likes of the upcoming Avengers movie, which is of course Avengers Doomsday. Apparently though, out of nowhere, that shocks a lot of people, myself included. Apparently though, Robert Downey Jr. is actually going to be playing as Dr. Doom. Despite the fact that, well, it's been a very long time since he actually did finally make his return for the Marvel Cinematic Universe when it comes to acting and stuff like that. So yeah, that's actually pretty cool, and it's also kind of surprising as well. Especially that the last time he actually did perform something was actually Iron Man since Avengers Endgame. So yeah, that's actually pretty cool. So anyway, let's move on to the final event in Satellite Circuit, and that's what appears to be 10-meter platform. And as to be expected, it's going to take place in Aquatic Center. So either way, what this event involves around in is about the fact that luckily it's all controlled in buttons. So from the start though, you have to like hold down the A button, and you have to pay attention to the gauge as actually fills up. And as soon as when the gauge actually fills up at the right time, you're able to actually get yourselves a good bounce height. And as a result, once you're done with that, you have to do a quick time event by pressing all these corresponding buttons, as you can tell for about a few seconds ago. Like usually, for instance, we have to press B, A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B, A, all sorts of stuff. Oh, right, I totally forgot there was a Shy Guy there, as another one of those judges too. Ah, jeez, I didn't pay attention to that, honestly. Especially it has been about quite a few hours since I actually have last played this game for sure, because again, I'm really digging into the forms of watching the forms of the Paris Olympics a lot. So anyway, so here we go on the second try. So this time we have to press B, B, A, B, B, A, B, B, A, B, B, A, and X, X, X. So either way, and then once you're done with all these button combinations right here, you have to do a judging a good angle until you're able to actually dive into the water. Like, it doesn't matter if you're able to actually face downwards into the actual water, or alternatively, you can able to actually face upwards, like stand up straight. However, if you go onto either like left or right when it comes to that angle, you might not get good results. So honestly, out of all the actual events that was actually exclusive to the DS version, I found that 10-meter platform is actually pretty easy overall, at least if you know what you're doing. So anyway, so now we're on to the forms of the third and final try, and this time they now added in the Y button basically. So either way though, self-explanatory if you pretty much know what to do for this point. So, and there we go, that pretty much does it for 10-meter platform. So yeah, pretty simple and easy, especially concerning that unlike Vaults though, that, my goodness, it was actually pretty tricky and difficult at one point. So either way, so it may look like we've actually gone for a flawless run in terms of Satellite Circuit. So yeah, not too shabby on my part, especially concerning the fact that I can't even believe we're actually getting quite close towards the end of circuit mode already, unless if we also want to count free circuits, which as a result I'll talk more about that in a later time. So congratulations to Princess Peach, not only for doing flawlessly for every single event in this circuit in particular, but also we get ourselves the Satellite Trophy. So yeah, pretty swell. Plus, in addition to that, there's also yet another Dream event we've somehow unlocked, but this time what appears to be Dream Fencing. So, and finally, of course, we're able to actually get ourselves the next circuit unlocked. And that's what appears to be the final circuit on Advanced Class, which appears to be Sunlight Circuit. So, yeah, pretty cool and awesome at the same time. So with that being said, folks, is that we got endings of this point right here. So join me next time for more of Let's Play of Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games DS version. Is that we're going to wrap things up everything in advanced class by going into Sunlight Circuit. So we have 400-meter hurdles, triple jump, dream table tennis, and dream fencing. So I'll see you guys until tomorrow. Later, fellas.